In the early 1950s, America and Venezuela agreed that US companies will invest in Venezuela's oil sector. One of the clauses in the deal stipulated that for every $100 the US made through the processing of oil, Venezuela will receive $1. However, the late Venezuelan President Hugo Chávez later amended the terms of the deal when he became the president, angering the Americans. The current president, Nicolas Maduro, has continued with Chávez's terms, much to the displeasure of the US President Donald Trump.
We're going to run the country until such time as we can do a safe, proper, and judicious transition. So we don't want to be involved with having somebody else get in, and we have the same situation that we had for the last long period of years. So we are going to run the country until such time as we can do a safe, proper, and judicious transition. And it has to be judicious because that's what we're all about.
100 years ago, U.S. oil companies began drilling in Venezuela and played a key role in developing the country's oil sector. Much of Venezuela's oil went to refineries in the U.S., but now much of it goes to China. Trump says American companies will now invest in Venezuela again.
We're going to have our very large United States oil companies, the biggest anywhere in the world, go in, spend billions of dollars, fix the badly broken infrastructure, the oil infrastructure, and start making money for the country.
He has added that after the capture of Nicolas Maduro, he will appear in a court of law in America.
Maduro and his wife will soon face the full might of American justice and stand trial on American soil. Right now, they're on a ship. They'll be heading to, ultimately, New York. And then a decision will be made, I assume, between New York and Miami or Florida.
In recent months, Trump has repeatedly called for the ousting of Maduro, accusing him of sending drugs and criminals to the U.S. He also claimed that Maduro was stealing U.S. oil. U.S. Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth says this was a step towards the U.S. reclaiming its global dominance.
President Trump is deadly serious about stopping the flow of gangs and violence to our country. Deadly serious about stopping the flow of drugs and poison to our people. Deadly serious about getting back the oil that was stolen from us. And deadly serious about reestablishing American deterrence and dominance in the Western Hemisphere.
Meanwhile, the SABC in South Africa has called on the international community to take action and stop the U.S. attacks on sovereign countries. The party's General Secretary, Solly Mapaila, says that the U.S. is after countries with oil and minerals.
What is also critical is the fact that the United States, since the 1950s, had signed a deal with the then Venezuelan government when they invested money to build the oil industry. In that deal, the United States decided to invest and build the oil industry in Venezuela only for abstraction, and then build the entire refineries, up to 28 refineries in the United States, and up to 4,200 filling stations in the United States. They still exist even today as we speak. So, and out of that particular contract, they gave Venezuela $1 out of every $100.
Globally, many celebrated the fall of Nicolas Maduro, while others are calling on the U.S. to stop its attacks on Venezuela. However, Venezuelan Vice President Delcy Rodriguez has declared that Nicolas Maduro remains the only president of Venezuela and demanded his immediate release. Ditaba Tsotetsi, SABC News.